then what is 3-4% of your income towards your future security, or your now and future security? So it's like, what's the bigger feeling is if you're paying this 1,000 crowns, let's say, give or take, if you have 1,500 crowns on average, 1,500 crowns per month, you're paying this until you're in your 50s or 60s, right? And nothing ever happens. Okay, great. You've had a pretty lucky or good, healthy life. Amazing. Or what happens if you decide, no, it's a waste of money. I'm not going to get the insurance. And then even in your 50s or something happens to you.
Yeah.
And you cannot work.
Yeah.
For, I don't know, months or years or never again.
Right. Yeah.
That's how you're going to feel when you knew you had that opportunity when you're younger to put some small percentage of your income towards your insurance.
And even check this out. Like, if you look at the ratios, that 1,000 that you start off with may feel a lot at the beginning, but we all increase our, we all increase our income every year. Like, we're never going to just stay at the bottom, right? And so, like, stay at the same current level for the next 10 years.
Yeah. So
actually, that ratio of 3% is actually just going to go lower and lower and lower, right? So actually, it's pretty important to recognize that kind of like aspect of it.
Yeah. And to realize that, look, it's called life insurance. We don't need to have it for life, right? You plan on having it for life, but I always tell my clients, maybe the ones that have high income and that makes their policy more expensive. I said, look, the goal here is to cover you in the next 5-10 years in case something happens. If in 10 years you have your financial reserve, you have your passive income, and you don't need it, then we just cancel it. Yeah, it's okay. But it's there to protect you in case something happens. So if you're in a situation where you don't need it, amazing, great. But 99% of people aren't in that.
But let's be real, right? If you can't afford 3 or 5% of your income on something that's going to protect your income, then you have a bigger problem. Why don't you have free? You should have 30% of your income spare every month. So if you don't have that spare, then you have a spending problem then. Yeah. So you're spending your money on something else other than your life, right?
And this is when you can look at one of our previous podcasts about budgeting.
Yeah,
and this should come into it. Actually, life insurance should be part of your basic needs, right? To cover you just in case, because you can actually think about it right now or answer this question, like how much, or if something were to happen to you today or tomorrow and you don't get any income, how long can you live for?
There we go. That's wealth. Yep, exactly. That's the measurement of wealth. How long can you live without working, and how long it must. So actually it's probably a good measure to do regularly just to see where you are. And then once you remember, what can be measured can be tracked. What we tracked can be improved upon. Yeah, so definitely leverage that. But I had a great idea. Like, got to leverage Perplexity. AI is like ChatGPT, but just better, right? Shout out to my friend Gavin. And I was just curious, like, what are the common excuses for not getting life insurance? So we're going to go around through a few of them, right? Through and see what is a good response to that, right? Because a lot of times we throw objections, and it's just because we just don't value or just try to run away.
Fear is the unknown.
The fear of the unknown, right? So let's talk about it. Let's address it. So one common one is I'm healthy, so I don't need insurance. Many people believe being healthy means they don't need life insurance. Yeah, but like, okay,
we just talked about it, that's actually the only time you can get covered for everything is when you're healthy. So life insurance is like the only thing that you can get when you don't need it. Once you need it, that's too late.
Yeah. Sheesh. Okay. Wow, that's not. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
People often assume that life insurance is unaffordable. Really?
We just talked. That's 3-5%.
Yeah, if you can't pay for 3 to 5% of your income, then you have other problems.
Yeah.
And you need to address that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Right. So if you lose the income, you're even in a bigger trouble. So you need to find a way to make that 3%. So all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got?
I don't have time. Some individuals claim they're too busy to consider life insurance.
Crazy.
You don't have time? Like, okay, so most people are scrolling through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook for at least an hour per day. That's what the reports say. Or even more, one worse.
Yeah.
An hour to talk to someone that's more. more knowledgeable than you to get it sorted, right?
Exactly. It's always seeking someone that's professional and more knowledgeable in that field, you know. It's as simple as that. And it's easy to have bad influences around you.
Yep.
Sadly, because these are people that don't understand it as well.
Yep. And check it out. Here, Czech Republic, all these different services or consultations are free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
All you have to do is spend 1 hour of your time, right? That you either be in the toilets, doom scrolling, right? To get yourselves protected for kind of like forever life. So like, guys, check it out on my employer. So another one is my employer provides life insurance.
Most don't, and actually a very common misconception or misunderstanding is that your employer is covering your health insurance. This is not life insurance.
Health insurance is different from life insurance. Health insurance pays the doctor.
Yeah.
Life insurance pays you.
Yes. So imagine like this, you have your health insurance usually here, there's a pair. Yeah, that's the most common. You're in a car accident, whatever, you end up in hospital, you need an operation, there's a pair covers that. But then after a couple of days, whatever, they've treated you, boom, they kick you out. The hospital kicks you out. Then you're on your own. Maybe you cannot work for weeks or months or years. Then your life insurance rises into play. And even if it happens in another country, you're still covered.
Wow, amazing. But then also you have to recognize that there are a lot of benefits, a lot of shared services, a lot of expats. They work in shared services and they do provide this benefit. However, the coverage doesn't protect them fully.
Right? It's usually death and invalidity, and that's it.
Crazy.
So you won't get the daily amounts. So in case of my client, for example, had broken arm because it's just a minor injury, even though he couldn't work for a month, your company life insurance plan won't cover that.
Yeah. So, yeah. And like, imagine you lose the job. You're no longer covered at all. And like, we all know that every 3 years, people are changing jobs, and some jobs provide this, some don't. So you want to protect yourself forever, no matter what the situation no matter what the situation occurs.
And you know what it is actually, when an employer covers your life insurance, they get tax benefits, but only for death and invalidity.
Yo, check that out. The thing that's
Mainly 5-minute injuries sometimes, but that's it, yeah.
So the thing that's the benefit is actually a benefit to the company, not to you. So think about that.
You can compensate it with, if you have a good like life insurance policy, say with the employer, like the death and invalidity, you have that covered. Then you can have everything else covered, like serious illnesses, the daily injuries, like working capacity, these kind of things you can have covered separately. And then, like you said, if you change jobs, it's really important to then upgrade your other life insurance because you won't be covered for these stuff.
Again, once you're in, you can always change it. Yeah. It's okay. You can actually, once you're in, you can already change it. But if you don't have anything and something happens, you don't, beggars can't be choosers, right? So we're nearly rounding up, but here's another one. I'll get it once I start a family. So many people wait until they have dependents to purchase a life insurance.
Yeah.
How fair is that?
Dangerous here.